So I want to talk about accepting anything in life. And the reason I want to talk about this is because for the past, I would say 13 years of my life, I've been held back from what you might call the normality of societal circulation, which is employment, family acquaintances, just friends, connections, and overall, what you might call a person's own decision on how they're going to live. And I've been accused of accepting anything, primarily from those that are wealthy, celebrities, people that are famous, people that have their life in their hands, so they think. They have looked down on me and they've cannibalized off of my destitute situation of being vulnerable to others, as we all are to some degree, but some are more vulnerable than others. And people have treated me in such derogatory ways. They thought lowly of me, and they thought that I chose to live in the poverties that I currently live in. And what I've learned is that all of our mothers are very poor examples of choice. Mothers did not come up with the education system that they run us through from kindergarten through 12th grade. They did not come up with the employment opportunities that we are offered upon our development in a world in which we will begin to pick up where they left off without them having asked our permission. Mothers accept any type of earthly projected cities. They accept any type of products for us when we're little. They accept any type of scientific procedures or processes, any skincare line. They accept anything, food that's processed. They accept it. They accept bad engineering, the housing of a city. They accept the distribution of food, which I think is done horrendously incorrect. They accept the societal culture, the ways of life of a people that were here before they were born, and they haven't that much contributed to society, unless, of course, they're very famous. Most mothers are just your average person that are just sexually involved with the man, and then before you know it, they go to the maternity ward, sever the umbilical cord, and before you know it, they have a baby. Some have families, and they accept any type of circumstance that surrounds the opportunity to raise the child. I say this because mothers are victory for any of us that are being accused of life failures. I'm not saying throw all of your blames and cares on mothers. They're not Jesus Christ. But in so many ways, if anyone ever told you anything about your vulnerabilities to be susceptible to a society that doesn't ask our permission, how we want to live, where we want to live, they just say, oh, make money. And hopefully you'll end up making it somewhere in life. And even if you did make money, you'd have to really spend time with an architecture, an engineer. You'd have to spend time with so many producers and extractors of the earth in order to establish what you might call your own preferential existence. But most of us just buy what someone else came up with it. We don't even know why they did it. We don't know where they come from, what they're trying to get done. We just pay a price and bam, we have a life. But I say this because mothers are the main ones who are able to nullify any accusation of loser status in this world. If anyone ever thought a bad thought about you, including, of course, myself, all you have to do is think about a mother. And what you will find is a mother beats you to the punch. If a person says that you're stupid, mothers are stupid for putting someone who they didn't ask permission in a dangerous environment in which they're going to have to work till they die, pay bills, and just, who knows? I mean, it's crazy. No one could be as stupid as a mother. If someone says you owe debt, mothers owe a lifetime of provisions to their children and they don't do it, and their excuse is popularity. It's not what anyone else does, so why should I do it? I'm like, well, there's a lot of people that don't pay their debts, and there's a lot of people that are not responsible with other people's lives. The government is not responsible with the cities that they govern. Governments, politicians, they're not responsible with our existence. Teachers are not responsible with our minds. Pastors are not responsible with our souls. There are a lot of people that are negligent. Entrepreneurs are not even careful with our bodies when they're using us for 8 hours to 10 hours, telling us to stand on our legs, to hand someone a plate, hand someone a drink, help someone pick up a dry domesticated good that they could have done by themselves because they want to make money. They want to sell goods. They want people to buy, and they want us to pay bills. It all sounds crazy what I'm saying, but when it's finally over, when this life is over, every word I've ever spoken, whether personal or public, is going to be the loudest sound of humanity's sanity. Right now, I sound like the craziest person on earth, but every word, every phrase, every thought and theory I've ever spoken is going to resonate loud and clear, and everyone's going to understand everything I've ever spoken because it makes so much sense. I'm just the only person saying it right now. So just like the first words of Christ or the first words of Apollo or this Greek god or this person back in the day or some philosopher, some ancient person, when it was first spoken to the common paupers and vagabonds and even the wicked kings of the day and age, no one really cared. But now today it's plaqued and framed and people make whole arts about it. You know, people actually quote these things, put it in songs, and they talk about different things. But everything has a beginning. You know, if it's something that has to start, like every solution starts after a problem. And the problem is thinking incorrectly on planet Earth. The solution is someone who's not afraid of what other people think of them. I'm the only person on earth who's not afraid of the masses. Everyone else is terrified to say something like this. They're terrified to be seen as crazy. They don't mind the popularity of Lady Gaga crazy. Oh, they don't mind that. They don't mind being RuPaul drags, you know, crazy. They don't mind being, oh, I dance on the street or I pop and lock twerk crazy. They don't mind, you know, stripping on a striptease pole crazy, but they just don't want to be a person that's profound and prolific and they think properly and logically. Everyone's terrified to be known for that crazy because that crazy is a rare crazy. And no one has ever done it before. And those who did were deemed insane and crazy. And they were locked up and they were persecuted and they were stoned in their generation. They were murdered, you know, just for saying stuff like everyone needs a car. Everyone needs a house. And then stereotypical black women be like, what? You have to pay for that shit? Oh, hell no. I work hard. You got to pay. That ain't for free. And I'm like, damn shit, are you serious? And then, of course, all the big head honchos of life, they get so excited to have that type of people. They're like, yeah, you got to pay for everything. We don't give anything free around here. I'm like, but you know, you gave me a bottle for free. The same way you gave me Webster Dictionary, ABC 123, is the same way I want you to force the scientific resources of comfort on me. You gave me the ability to hear and see and speak for free, which can be electrocuted, my soul, my nerves, my feelings. But when it comes down to protecting and comforting them, all of a sudden, you'd be like, I got to pay for that. I'm like, well, why would you give me the ability to feel pain for free, but not give me the ability to be comfortable for free? So you gave me Webster, you gave me words with a meaning, you gave me the ability to see, hear, and talk and feel. But when I want comfort, you'd be like, I owe you dollar bills, right? Okay, that's crazy. Something else I want to say is, right now, I'm the ugliest woman on earth. And without my makeup on, and without my clothes on, and without my half wig on, I am a monster. And because I look that way, a lot of people have also persecuted me for that. But mothers are also the answer to that too. Mothers are so victorious to me. Like everything that could go wrong in my life, mothers have already beat me to the punch. And people have accepted mothers as a world-renowned title of existence. Mothers start people's life while looking like they should already be buried alive. 50 to 90% of mothers are dying. When I say dying, I'm talking about, do you know a mother can't even have one thing wrong with her body when she's putting Webster inside of her baby? When you're giving your child the ABCs and the 1, 2, 3s of our life, when you're giving them the words that have a meaning, you can't even have one thing wrong with you. Or you actually are messing up. Why would you activate a child to a life that hasn't worked out for you? A carcass, a cadaver that's already decomposing, blemished on you. Why would you think it's right to initiate another body when the body that you are is already malfunctioning? Every mother that has dry hair, yellow teeth, yellow eyes, blemishes on the body, cellulose thighs, saggy breasts, hair all over the body. Every mother that has to get cosmetic surgery, halitosis breath, matted eyes when they wake up, boogers in the nose, sinus drip, asthma, allergies, this and that. You can't even put a baby on earth with those knowledges of damage and malfunction. You know, people look at me and say, Nikki, you're so ugly. I'm like, but I'm not starting a life while I'm so ugly. There are a lot of, hey, all of Africa is pretty much ugly. Most of them. 90% of Africa is just hideous. Of course, there's a lot of big, hard body, sexual people, but the whole continent of Africa is pretty much unattractive. Like, there's a lot of people on earth that's unattractive. A lot of millennials are trying really hard to be cosmetically altered and Botox savvy, but that's what makes it worse. Even with all this cosmetic surgery, all this fitness guru, all this health and exercise, I'm not impressed. I'm just really ugly. And because I'm really ugly, anyone could sell me anything and say, oh, don't you want to try this? Don't you want to do this? But I'm like, if I wasn't so ugly, I wouldn't even pay attention. You know, I recently became this ugly in the past 13 years from so much violence that I've been through. But before I was very, very healthy and very, very athletic. And I had a lot of tightness and a lot of youthfulness about me. And I had long, long jet black hair. I was very pretty. But I went through a lot of damage. And because of that, I see the things that are happening. Like, mothers beat me to the punch for accepting any kind of life. Every mother on earth is accepting anything to raise their child so that they won't feel like a third world poverty reproducer. They accept any way civilization gives them the opportunity to raise their child, they accept it. because they're terrified to be a stupid person. But mothers beat me to the punch. Anything you could ever say negative about me, I have victory. Because if you don't say the same thing about every mother on earth, then you're just vicious and cruel to say it about me. I don't accept just anything. I have a nervous system. I'm terrified of planet Earth. I have to go through what people put me through to avoid further pains that put me in their presence to go through such abuse. But mothers, they did not have to put children on earth, and they did not have to activate the child. They accept anything, and it's so wild. And then while they are dying and decomposing, they are actually starting a life to live the same death that they are finding. Motherfucker, I can never be that ugly. I'm dying and I look like I'm dying, but they're starting a life and dying at the same time? Losers.